Alright, this is Weapon X Reacts and we're back with another video, and this is going to be a review of The Thunderbolts, which is a new film from the MCU, and to me, it is just a mess. And it was basically just a generic Suicide Squad movie. And it's currently sitting at 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. And do you want to know why the reviews are so positive? Is because it focuses on mental health and that it's relatable. And some people even said that this movie is the best film since Avengers Endgame. And can you actually believe that this is the audience Disney is trying to appeal to nowadays? As these people don't actually care about this film. They just say they do because they were paid for it. And it shows you just how dead Marvel is right now. And it is the same thing with Star Wars, as Disney has destroyed these two franchises with wokeness. And they think pushing bullshit like this will make their film successful. No, it won't. And I am just gonna let you know that there will be spoilers in this review. I'm gonna break down the plots of this film. So, ensnared in a death trap, a team of anti-heroes, Yelena Belova, Bucky Barnes, Red Guardian, Ghost, Taskmaster, and John Walker, embark on a dangerous mission that forces them to confront the dark corners of their pasts. I thought the jokes in this movie were super cringe, and to me, they just don't work. And it's basically the typical Marvel humor that we see every single time. And if I have any positives about this film, is that Florence Pugh does a good job as Yelena Belova, as she is someone that is deeply affected by the loss of her sister. And she carries this film, even if it's a forgettable piece of Marvel content. And personally, I have always felt like she was a rip-off version of Black Widow. And I will admit that when it comes to her other performances in movies like Midsommar, for example, she is so much better. Well, here, it is just good. And David Harbour was alright as Red Guardian. And if I have one criticism about his character, was that his jokes were absolutely annoying, and it's just another example of this film's biggest problems. And I thought the dark and emotional tone in this movie is all over the place, and there are some moments where it actually works. But it tries so hard to sound deep and edgy, as this is a film that deals with heavy topics like trauma and depression, but really, it just makes it look dumb. And it could have been done so much better in a film that is actually compelling, and not a Marvel film that has everything that you would expect from a typical Marvel movie these days. And if you want a Marvel film that is actually dark and complex, watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 from James Gunn. Or a non-Marvel film, like Darren Aronofsky's Requiem for a Dream or Zack Snyder's Watchmen, instead of wasting your time with this piece of shit of a movie. And the characters of John Walker, Bucky, Ghost are all wasted and underdeveloped in this movie. Especially with Taskmaster, as she adds nothing to the film. Just like how I thought about her when I saw Black Widow. And let me tell you something. This version of Taskmaster is a joke. And she is not even accurate in the comics. And not just that, but Disney even decided to take this character and change the gender from a man into a woman. Because that is all that matters to them nowadays. They don't care about the comics or the fans. They only care about destroying everything you love. And they will keep doing it no matter what, because to them, ideology is more important than art. Also, the character development is absolute garbage, and Taskmaster even gets killed by Ghost, just to let you know. And I thought Sentry was an interesting villain, but the way and how the Thunderbolts beat him was absolutely stupid, as it was all with a fucking group hug. And I thought Lewis Pullman's performance was actually pretty good, as you don't even know what to expect about his character. And I wanted to see more of him. But the problem is that they don't give him anything else to do with. And it becomes another example of wasted potential. Also, the cinematography is the best thing about this whole movie, and it really fits the emotional and dark tone that it has. And that's just what I would expect from the cinematographer who also did movies like The Green Knight and A Ghost Story, which are two movies that I totally recommend you should watch. Also, I would have liked this film way more if Baron Zemo was the leader of the Thunderbolts, just like how he was in the comics. I'm gonna be reading out the reviews of this film right now. So for the first one, Thunderbolts is the best Marvel movie in years, harkening back to the hopeful, emotional stories that made us fall in love with our favorite Marvel characters on the big screen. For the second review, this film stands on its own as an entry that will appeal to die-hard fans, but also doesn't need anything that comes before or after it to feel like a complete and worthwhile cinematic experience all by itself. For the third review, the third act hits a few pacing snags, but shows a lot of restraint as far as typical blockbusters go. Thunderbolts' drama is remarkably human, the product of well-crafted storytelling that actually puts in the legwork to deliver a satisfying resolution. Thunderbolts is written in a way that doesn't apologize for these characters. They don't feel phony, and their chemistry as a team is believable. This movie is emotionally deeper than other Marvel movies. The chemistry between the main actors works very well, and Florence Pugh is a real standout here. Also, every male character in this film, including John Walker, were just pushed to the sidelines by the female characters, because what did you expect from Disney? They just hate seeing male characters in leading roles. Because nowadays in our modern society, it's toxic masculinity. And do you want me to show you some examples of when they hated it? It was in Loki and Thor: Love and Thunder, because those two characters were pissed on in their own films. I'm going to explain the ending of this film. So, after destroying the Void, they try to deal with Valentina next. And she tries to run away from them. And as they try to arrest her over everything OXC Group and her have done, there is also a green tarp that blocks them from seeing where she goes next. And as they go through it, they realize that she has actually tricked them. And Valentina has set up a press conference. She lies to the public by saying this was all part of her plan to introduce them as the new Avengers, which actually explains why there is an asterisk in their name. And then in the post-credit scene, the new Avengers and Bob discuss an ongoing problem in outer space when they receive a distress signal from an interdimensional spacecraft entering Earth 616, which is revealed to be the Fantastic Four. And this just tells me that this whole movie is just so Marvel can set up the big project, Avengers Doomsday. And I wish I cared about this, but I don't. And I even heard that the Russo brothers even directed the scene, which is pretty cool. And the director, Jake Schreier, said that to make sure it was honest to where our characters were, we're giving them over to this whole new world and new scope. And we want them to function in that way. Being there on set was very fun to watch your buddies go on this grander scale and see them directed in another context and on a different level of scope than we had been treating it. And let me tell you something, I really liked this ending, even if the film was painfully average. Also, do you know what's the most stupidest thing Marvel has ever done? It was changing the title to The New Avengers, all because of how the film ended and how it did at the box office. Here's something for you. Just leave it as the Thunderbolts, for fuck's sake! I'm gonna show you the trailers of this film, starting with the first one.
Your subordinates will be reported to DoorDash HQ.
Alexi, it's me. Open up.
Elena? Elena!
Hi, Dad.
Sorry about the wait. It was on important call. Highly classified. Lot of work. Many irons in fire.
You feel fulfilled?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so full. So filled. But why do you ask this? What brings you here?
There is something wrong with me. The emptiness. I'm just drifting. And I don't have purpose. I thought throwing myself into work was the answer.
Let me tell you something. I thought this film was gonna be hot dog shit, but it was actually more enjoyable than I was expecting. Just to let you know that I'm not shilling for this movie, that's just what I thought. Trust me, I did not like this movie, man.
Who are you?
I'm Bob.
Who sent you, Bob?
Nobody. Are you all?
But I thought it was worth it.
Everyone here has done bad things. Shadow ops. Robbing government.
You know what? At least I didn't walk out of this movie like I did with the Marvels.
So, someone wants...
Because I watched that film and it was hot dog shit. Marvel's not making anything to be interested in anymore.
We're brought up with this
It's sad, really.
that there are
Because remember back in like phase 3, phase 2, phase 1, where they actually told stories that were actually good. Now it's basically just become a dead thing nowadays.
Eventually, you come to realize that there are bad guys.
Wokeness and identity politics does not create, it only destroys.
Look at you. So adorable.
There is no saving Star Wars or Marvel.
She's bulletproof. What happened to bulletproof? It's bulletproof-ish. Is that Bucky?
That's not good.
Do you know what's funny? How every single male character in this is just, wasted. It actually shows you Disney's ideology against men. They hate men. They seeing masculine values on screen.
Who will keep the American people safe?
No, the people who are working at Disney are a bunch of soy boy bitches.
And you are gonna help me stop it.
Wait, us?
Yeah, you. Why, you got someplace to be? I love that guy.
So, none of us... So what, we all just punch and shoot? I can't think of a worse group of people trying to work together.
Where are you?
Everyone here has done bad things. You can't escape the past. It's like your mind is somewhere else.
So you can do something about it now? Or live with it forever?
This could get messy.
No shit. You thought you were gonna be some great saviors? You can't even save yourself.
We can't do this. No one here.
Century is not just complex, it was also very, very terrifying. It's nice having a villain that's actually terrifying for once.
That's why we need each other.
Okay, that was really good.
We are the Thunderbolts! Can't call ourselves that. God, thank you.
Because, dude, Hollywood is shit at writing villains now.
Makings of team that can rise to glory. Bring light.
Remember when we had villains that were actually evil? Now we have villains that are relatable and likable for the writers, actually,
The heroes.
not for the audience.
With the little giddy boy.
Alexei, have you slept?
I'll sleep when I'm dead. I'd like not to die today, so maybe somebody else be driving. Lena, it's a hero. There is no higher calling. Your sister understood something about that.
I should have come back for you. No. That's just a fairy tale.
Dude, I hated Black Widow, bro. Do you know what music they're using for this trailer? Under Pressure. Do you know what's the best use of that? After Sun 2022.
We can be the ones that are coming.
One of the most emotional films I've ever seen.
We have all done bad things.
Look, I've been where you are. The past doesn't go away. So you can either live with it forever. Or you can do something about it. I am the void. What you unleashed. Can't outrun the emptiness.
We can't do this. No one here is a hero.
Simple face, let me out.
But I have so many.
Elena, when I look at you, I don't see your mistakes. That's why we need each other.
I can't stop him alone. No one can. But we can find a way. Together.
Marvel Studios Thunderbolts.
And I actually will admit, the trailers for this movie were actually really good. And I'm not just saying that because the trailers that came out for the other MCU movies were dog shit. And I actually think that this movie is so much better than Brave New World. Because the writing in that movie was horse shit. No, I'm actually serious. Don't even waste your time with Brave New World. Because they focused on Red Hulk a lot more. They put him in the trailers and he's only in the movie for like 5 minutes. That is bad. The box office for this movie is absolutely pathetic, and it looks like it's gonna be a massive disaster for Marvel. And here is how much money it made. $76 million in its opening weekend, while also earning $86.1 million internationally, for a total of $162.1 million, and it had a $185 million budget. And in conclusion, this film was awful. And I will admit that it is actually a lot better than the garbage that came out of Marvel in the last 5 years. And I thought while it had problems, it was an enjoyable film, and this is exactly how I felt about the Minecraft movie. I didn't like it, but I enjoyed it, which is something that we don't get that much anymore. And the MCU died after Endgame, and they will never capture the same lightning in the bottle ever again, because right now, we are slowly rejecting their movies more and more. And it looks like we will never get films like Iron Man or the Avengers or Captain America ever again, because that was a time when Marvel actually gave a shit. And the era of superhero movies are done, because they are basically stuck at this point. The same goes for DC, and Kevin Feige even admitted that they fucked up. But they will not learn from their failures, and if I can say anything, is that they just did the same thing over and over again and expecting shit to change. And guess what? Let them! And we'll see what happens when they shut down. Because they have zero talent, and the people who are praising this will most definitely forget about it in a couple of years' time. And it is a great example of don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next product. And guess what? Good luck with getting people to care about your crap. Oh wait, we are fucking done. Also, anyway, that's all I got for today. Go away now, and always remember, strike back like a weapon against wokeness. Especially from Hollywood.